Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing Financial Insights today. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Financial News, June 27, 2023. In Europe, the European Central Bank is predicted to implement a 25 basis point rate rise, likely marking one of its last actions in the current rate hiking cycle. The optimism surrounding peaking interest rates in the US and Europe is bolstered by a strong earnings season, lifting the spirits of stock market bulls. Consequently, the dollar has experienced a 3-day decline, and Treasury yields have decreased following Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's remarks on the effectiveness of rate hikes in curbing inflationary pressures. Market analysts have noted that the market has now reverted to its original peak rate expectations and timeline. In the European market, the Stoxx Europe 600 index has risen by 0.6%, with nearly all sectors experiencing gains. Key movers include French lender BNP Paribas SA, consumer goods giant Nestlé SA, and retailer Carrefour SA, which all rallied after surpassing earnings estimates. However, Shell plc saw a decline despite committing to additional buybacks as its profits fell from last year's highs. Looking ahead to the U.S. market, equity futures indicate a firmer opening on Wall Street, with contracts on the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 up by 0.9%. Facebook parent Meta Platforms Incorporated has provided a boost to sentiment toward big tech, surging 5.8% in extended trading after delivering forecast-beating results and revenue forecasts. Furthermore, there are indications that the U.S. economy is heading for a soft landing, as the Dow Jones Industrial Average saw a 13th consecutive session of gains on Wednesday, marking its longest winning streak since 1987. Later today, second quarter gross domestic product (GDP) data is expected to reveal a 1.8% expansion, showing only a slight deceleration from the previous quarter. In Asian markets, shares also experienced a rally, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index rising by 1.5%, and Tokyo's benchmark increasing by 0.7%. Notably, Chinese electric vehicle maker SPANG Incorporated soared by 30% on the news of a $700 million investment from Volkswagen AG. Investors are now eagerly anticipating Friday's Bank of Japan policy decision, which has contributed to the strengthening of the yen for the fourth consecutive day. Traders are positioning themselves for potential guidance on when the central bank may start to shift away from its ultra-easy monetary policies. Following the Fed's latest meeting, U.S. markets showed a relatively muted response. The Dow Jones Industrial Average continued its winning streak for the 13th consecutive day. However, European markets displayed mixed performance, with the Stoxx 600 index slipping by 0.53%, while France's CAC 40 experienced a more significant decline of 1.4%. Luxury giant LVMH's shares were hit hard by a surprising drop in U.S. sales, contributing to the negative sentiment in France's market. Turning our attention to big tech, Alphabet's shares surged by 5.78%, while Microsoft's shares dipped 3.76% following their respective earnings reports released after markets closed on Tuesday. Investors and analysts reacted positively to Alphabet's robust growth in cloud computing revenue, while Microsoft's guidance fell short of expectations. Despite the disappointment, analysts remain optimistic about Microsoft's prospects in the field of artificial intelligence. The Federal Reserve recently implemented a 25 basis point rate hike, bringing rates to a target range of 5.25% to 5.5%, the highest since 2001. The decision was unanimous among the voting committee members. Fed Chair Jerome Powell left the door open for potential further rate hikes, emphasizing that the central bank will assess the situation meeting by meeting. In the aftermath of the Federal Reserve's rate hike, U.S. markets showed a relatively muted response. The Dow Jones Industrial Average continued its winning streak for the 13th consecutive day. However, in the Asia-Pacific region, shares performed positively, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index leading the gains at around 1.3%. South Korea's Kospi also advanced, despite Samsung Electronics experiencing a significant year-on-year plunge in profits. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. In a significant move, BlackRock has partnered with Jio Financial Services, an Indian company led by Mukesh Ambani, India's richest man, to establish Jio BlackRock. The 50-50 venture represents BlackRock's second attempt to enter India's flourishing asset management industry, with both companies planning to invest up to $150 million each. Following the Fed's latest meeting, Chair Jerome Powell managed to skillfully navigate expectations from both market bulls and bears. Market bulls found comfort in Powell's comment that the Fed might not pursue further rate hikes after this month's quarter percentage point raise, indicating a potential end to the current hiking cycle. Powell also expressed willingness to be patient in evaluating the impact of tighter monetary policy on the economy. On the other hand, market bears had their concerns addressed, with Powell stating that the Fed does not anticipate cutting rates this year or even in the near future. Powell's remarks highlighted that the Fed is not overly concerned about financial markets and is willing to endure below-trend growth and some softening of labor market conditions due to the tight labor market. In light of the Fed's stance, economists have dubbed it a hawkish hold. This phrase captures the sentiment that the Fed's approach is supportive of both bearish and bullish expectations. The markets had already priced in the rate hike, leading to muted reactions. Treasury yields fell instead of rising in tandem with the interest rate increases. The S&P 500 remained essentially flat, the Nasdaq Composite experienced a slight dip of 0.12%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by 0.23%. This remarkable performance marks the Dow's 13th straight day of gains, matching its longest winning streak since 1987. The US dollar is struggling to find demand following the Federal Reserve's policy announcements and Chairman Jerome Powell's press conference. However, the market seems calmer in the European morning. Investors will keep an eye on the European Central Bank's interest rate decision and the US second quarter GDP data later today, which could impact market volatility in the second half of the day. Key events this week: ECB rate decision, Thursday. US GDP, durable goods orders, initial jobless claims, wholesale inventories, Thursday. Japan Tokyo CPI, Friday. BOJ rate decision, Friday. Eurozone economic confidence, consumer confidence, Friday. U.S. Consumer Income, Employment Cost Index, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment, Friday. Some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. The Stoxx Europe 600 rose 0.5% as of 8:20 a.m. London time. S&P 500 futures rose 0.3%. Nasdaq 100 futures rose 0.8%. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average were little changed. The MSCI Asia Pacific Index rose 0.8%. The MSCI Emerging Markets Index rose 0.5%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index fell 0.1%. The Euro rose 0.2% to $1.1109. The Japanese yen rose 0.2% to 139.94 per dollar. The offshore yuan rose 0.2% to 7.1414 per dollar. The British pound rose 0.2% to $1.2967. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin fell 0.5% to $29,434. Ether fell 0.2% to $1,876.40. Bonds. The yield on 10-year Treasuries declined 2 basis points to 3.85%. Germany's 10-year yield declined 2 basis points to 2.47%. Britain's 10-year yield was little changed at 4.28%. Commodities. Brent crude rose 0.8% to $83.60 a barrel. Spot gold rose 0.4% to $1,979.22 an ounce. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching Financial Insights today. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.